Have you ever played a sport and looked at the ref saying to yourself, "What kind of call was that?" Or heard the fans screaming out, "Come on, ref," or "Let the players play"? These are popular lines screamed out from the fans of the losing teams in most cases. I have been in the same position plenty of times and have witnessed it in pro sports, one being the NBA. So I wondered, is the NBA rigged? Is the winner chosen before the game is actually even played? I would hate to find out that the game we love to watch is out of the players' hands and in the refs and commissioners' hands. To begin, I'm sure almost everyone has heard of the Los Angeles Lakers. Many of you know that this organization is one of the most popular organizations of all time and has one of the biggest markets in the NBA, meaning they bring in a lot of money for the NBA. Across the world, there are thousands and thousands of Lakers fans who want to see them win. These fans are buying tickets to see them play and are getting TV ratings up watching them, buying players' jerseys and other things, which is bringing in a lot of money and revenue. So in order to keep the money coming in, you need that team to be good and win games. That keeps them popular, which means keep them around as long as possible. And guess what? The NBA found just the way to do that. Questions about the NBA being rigged are not just coming from the games. Here are a few examples that fans have been questioning from the NBA. Number 1. NBA fixing the draft lottery. For those of you who don't know what the draft lottery is, it's a process to determine the draft order in the NBA. The teams who didn't do so well in the previous season will have a chance to get the best college players in the world on their team, and the lottery winner will have the number 1 pick of the whole draft. Number 2. A former referee admitting that the NBA lets the popular teams and players win. Number 3. LeBron James is arguably the best player in the world right now, and the commissioner loves him and will do anything to have him win. In case you don't know, the word rigged is used to describe situations where unfair advantages are given to one side. In this case, the advantages are being given to the more popular teams and players. The unfair advantages consist of referees calling calls on the not so popular teams, but not calling them for the popular team, not calling calls for the popular player, but calling the same call for the non-popular player, and fixing things to make the popular teams better. To a certain extent, you can cheat but so much, meaning if a team is getting blown out in a game, there's nothing the refs can do to change the outcome, but if the game is close, the refs can decide the winner. Throughout the years, we have had a lot of times where the draft lottery looked like the team the league wanted to get better for certain reasons actually got better. A perfect example was the New York Knicks in 1985, one of the most popular organizations in the NBA. They didn't do so good the season before, so the league needed them to get that next star player to put New York on the top again. Where there was Patrick Ewing, the next big thing. This was the first NBA draft lottery, so let's take a look at this.
The drum will now be turned to further mix the envelopes, and then I will conduct the drawing.
That is Jack Joyce. He's the head of security for the NBA, spinning the drum. About 6 turns, I think.
The team whose logo is in this envelope will have the first pick in the NBA draft.
This video is not the clearest, but researching this, I found a clear video that showed that the card had a bent edge that helped Commissioner David Stern pick the New York Knicks card. If that doesn't prove it to you, here's more. Former NBA referee Tim Donaghy said that the league wants the more popular players and teams to win. He also said the NBA routinely encouraged referees to ring up bogus fouls to manipulate results but ignore calls against star players. So let's take a look at the 2002 series popular franchise LA Lakers, who will bring more television ratings and tickets, versus not so popular franchise Sacramento Kings. The Kings were arguably the most talented team in the NBA. Game 6, Kings looking out to close the series and send the Lakers home. When the game was getting interesting and coming down to the wire in the fourth quarter, the Lakers shot 27 free throws in the fourth quarter alone to the Kings 9. Now let's take a look at some of these fouls that were called and not called. Foul was called on Sacramento Kings when you could clearly see it was all ball.
You don't get the call on this end of the floor. How can you make this call right here as Kobe squeezes in?
Kobe Bryant was barely touched, but a foul was called on the Sacramento Kings, giving Kobe Bryant a foul and one. For those of you who don't know a lot about basketball, the highlighted Sacramento Kings player is setting a screen, which is very legal. The ref calls an illegal screen and gives the ball to the Lakers. This is great defense by the Sacramento Kings center Pollard, but he is called for a foul even though his hands are going straight up. Sacramento Kings center Vlad Divac was called for a foul on this play for touching LA Lakers Shaquille O'Neal with his pinky. Sacramento Kings center Vlad Divac is called for a sixth and final foul for diving for a loose ball. Shaquille O'Neal was called for a regular two-shot foul. In any other game, this would have been a flagrant foul. A flagrant foul is when you foul somebody with no intentions of going for the ball. The video speaks for itself, but let me tell you, no call was called on this play. If a call was called, the game would have most likely been over and the Sacramento Kings would have advanced to the next round. And last but not least, for those of you who don't really watch basketball, when shooting a free throw, your foot is not allowed to come across the line. Shaq made 13 free throws this game with his foot coming across that line. LeBron James. Almost everyone in the world has heard of him for being the best player in the NBA. Bringing in the most money for the NBA commissioner, David Stern, loves him. So he will do anything in his power to have him win and keep bringing money in. LeBron James being on a team with two other superstars cannot be beat. So the LA Lakers try to do exactly what they did and have three superstars. Already having Kobe Bryant, the best shooting guard in the game, and Dwight Howard, the best center in the game, the Lakers try to bring in Chris Paul, arguably the best point guard in the game. David Stern rejects the trade, and to let you know, this hasn't been done in years. This is the first time I ever witnessed something like this, and simply all because he didn't want any chance of the Lakers stealing the shine from LeBron James. I could go on and on with different accusations, but these are just three, and it's sad to see. Hopefully in the future, we will see more straightforward games without the league determining the outcome. We know the refs are humans and can make mistakes, but at a certain point it gets out of hand. Call the game both ways. If one player is getting fouled and you call it, make sure you call the same call on the other team, and we won't have to question if the NBA is rigged or not.